What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky, and you might think by the title of this video that this is another of our punishment anime, but I actually went out of my way looking for one of those anime that would absolutely deserve the eye bleach. Well, I asked Reddit to give me, some of their worst anime that they've ever seen, and X-Arm came up quite a few times, and I thought I would give it a try, and it did not disappoint. Well, it did disappoint, but it didn't disappoint me at how bad it was. First off, look at it. Look at it. Yeah, so we're going to start off with the presentation, and yes, this is another CGI anime, and it looks awful. There's a scene that I feel really bad about, because it looks like it would have taken a long time to do, but it just falls flat in its execution. There's this really weird blur effect that they try and use to show movement, but it just looks really sloppy. The other thing that really bothered me is that there are these scenes with people who are animated regularly, and for the most part, they look pretty alright. It just doesn't mesh very well with the main characters, because the main characters are all CGI and the rest are just animated characters, so you can kind of tell who's going to be a main character by that. I just don't get what the point of it is, other than to piss me off that they had the means and the talent apparently to draw this up, but they didn't. An obvious parallel would be Berserk 2016 and how every now and then they would show these incredible scenes that would be beautifully animated and then go back to the crappy CGI. Like, why even show us this oasis of animation if you're going to keep us in the deserts of despair that is CGI? Also, just to show you how big of a difference the animation would have made, I'm going to show you a character, Al'Jard, that's originally introduced in regular animation and then ends up being converted into CGI. Like, what the hell? He was actually looking pretty badass when he was just regularly animated, and then you get this. I mean, come on. Now, this might surprise you, but I actually really enjoyed the story. I think it was a unique concept of a boy, Akira, who hates technology and who ends up getting hit by a truck back in 2014 and wakes up as an X-Arm, a weapon that is alien in nature. He's just a brain, but he's able to hack into most technology. I actually thought that was a great concept, and the episodes actually follow a pretty cohesive story about the apocalyptic events that took place in 2020 and whether or not Akira was responsible for the events, since he keeps having flashbacks of himself, or at least someone who looks like him, destroying the city. Now, are there some ridiculous things in this series? Of course. Since the police have custody of Akira, they put limiters on him, which can only be lifted when this android chick, Alma, kisses this other chick, Minami. And even though it's stupid, if you're an anime fan, I'm sure you've seen worse. Also, they had this stupid episode where they're trying to help Akira get his memories back by going into a virtual simulation based on his thoughts, and everyone pretends to be part of the school. I just felt like it was kind of a waste of time, but they did have a good reason, so I can't exactly fault it too much. I mean, we've been given worse. The problem with this series is literally just the production value. If this show were animated differently, and believe me, I had to think about it a lot as I watched hour after hour of this, I would have given it a solid 7.5 out of 10. If it was just animated differently, the story would have gotten through a bit more, and maybe I wouldn't be shitting all over this, but unfortunately the animation is just so off-putting that it unimmersed me several times. I even almost threw up on the first episode, no joke. I was eating and I felt so uneasy that I got a headache and a stomachache at the same time.
Here it is. Yeah, I played this last week just to piss her off.
Oh my god, I can't watch that. I'm gonna throw up.
Does it really fuck with you?
Oh my god, yeah, I'll throw up.
Really?
Oh yeah, just even looking at it.
Now that is saying a lot. I think the most frustrating thing about this is that it had potential to be a solid series, yet CGI has taken out another series. Ultimately, after evaluating everything, I don't think I would give it as harsh of a review that I've seen it get, by IMDb and my anime list, just because the story kept me going. But I'd go with a solid 4 out of 10 for this one. As always, guys, don't forget to keep it casual.